With the Iowa caucus a little more than 1 month away now, the 45th President Donald Trump is positioned for a historic win, according to the Holy Grail of Iowa polling. Daniel Baldwin has more.
A new Des Moines Register poll shows President Donald Trump steamrolling his way to a record-setting Iowa caucus win. President Trump now has 51% of support among likely Republican caucus goers, up 8% from October. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former UN ambassador and South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley stuck in the mud at 19% and 16% respectively. Jason Miller, senior advisor to President Trump, is in studio. Jason, your reaction on the holy grail of Iowa polls showing President Trump dominating in every single sense of the word.
Well, Daniel, great to be with you. This really shows that President Trump has the momentum at the right time. He's peaking at the right time. I mean, to be over 50% this far out with the nearest person so far back behind really shows that President Trump's in the driver's seat. But also, too, every single category that you go through, whether it's evangelicals, even he's winning big, even with moderates and independents, anyone could possibly be looking to join to caucus on the 15th. But the other thing, too, I thought this was one of the key things. When you look at the definite vote, with people who are locked in, there's nothing that's going to change them. Of President Trump supporters, 70% are locked in. There's no chance to move them. When you look at DeSantis and Haley, they're about 25, 29%, so they could even lose some of their people coming up.
Well, that builds off of this point, too, Jason. We've heard for years, going back to 2015, well, the race is so crowded, the anti-Trump vote cannibalizes itself, and since October, the playing field actually shrunk, yet Trump grew his lead. Why do you think the enthusiasm this time around is so high for President Trump?
Because people want to win. And when you look at the general number of polls, which I know we're going to go into, all of the swing states, whether it be Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, all the way across the board, President Trump is leading. President Trump can beat Joe Biden. I don't think that Nikki Haley or Ron DeSantis could win in a general election.
Well, this also comes on the heels of Casey DeSantis going on national TV and calling on the coalition of grandmothers and mothers to descend and partake in the Iowa caucuses. This got so much head steam that the Iowa GOP actually had to tweet out a message saying specifically that you have to be a legal resident of Iowa. And the precinct you live in, you have to bring in photo ID with you in order to vote. Obviously, state rules bar non-residents from participating. She attempted to clarify her statement later, but shouldn't Team DeSantis simply just know the rules of the Iowa caucuses, considering the amount of time they'd spent there, Jason?
Well, you would think so. And we even saw Bob Vanderplatz then come and say over the weekend that the caucus will be held on January 19th. No, the caucuses are January 15th, just in case any Trump folks are watching. It's the evening, Monday, January 15th. MLK Day. Make sure that you find your local caucus. Get there. Only people from Iowa. Sorry, Team DeSantis. But you would think at this point that they would know that. But I think the other key, just go back to the polls for a moment. DeSantis went all in on Iowa. His team has basically said it's Iowa or bust. Even Bob Vanderplatz, when he joined another network to announce his endorsement, said that if we don't, this is Bob saying this, if we don't stop President Trump in Iowa, there's not going to be any stopping him afterwards. Well, as we see, DeSantis is way back in second place, barely ahead of Nikki Haley for third place. The Reynolds endorsement meant nothing. The Vanderplatz endorsement meant nothing. The 99 county tour meant nothing. I think ultimately it's because the substitute, there's no substitute for who's a good candidate. President Trump is a great candidate. Ron DeSantis is a terrible candidate.
Well, it's fascinating you mentioned that as well. It's all seemingly immaterial for DeSantis at this point in time. We've been on the ground in Iowa. We've seen the amount of people that turn out to the Commit to Caucus events. And State Representative Bobby Kaufman, who's at nearly every single one of them, told us back, if Trump has a double-digit win in Iowa, it's over. It's game over at that point. Do you agree?
I think so, yes. The record in Iowa is 12 points. So anything north of 12 points on a victory will be historical. It'll be record-setting. And certainly don't want to go count any chickens before they're hatched, but I think President Trump is very well positioned at the moment to have a historic victory. But also, I think one of the things really that's why Iowa is going to launch is because people are so hungry for a general election win. They see what Biden's doing. We see the numbers over the weekend from CBS about where Americans are looking at inflation, the crisis at the southern border, which, by the way, 20% of people now have that as their top issue, the biggest concern. Right behind inflation, that's the highest number they've seen on that. Crime, Biden's handling of the conflict overseas, the world's devolved into chaos. People want to reverse that now. They know President Trump can step in and do it literally on his first day. He can start turning things around. Some of the things even before he gets sworn in. The other folks will still be looking for the bathroom if they were in that spot.
Jason Miller, we appreciate you stopping in studio. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.